You're watching SKST Radio.
Well, welcome to another episode of SKST Radio, and we're tuned into Real Talk with Cammie, Grayson, and friends, and I have a new friend. He goes by the name of Cory. Cory, welcome to the show!
Hello, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here, man. I need my popcorn. I'm ready for this. So, Cory is a movie director. Cory, tell people who you are and how you got started.
Sure. I'm a director, and for many years I've also been a sound designer, mixer, recordist, and so for a long time I've been making movies for a very, very long time, but I've been helping other people achieve their visions. And Esme, My Love is my directorial feature film narrative debut, so it's my first feature film that I've directed myself, and so it's quite a big deal for me.
Absolutely. You did a great job too, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so what got you started?
I've always told stories. My mom is an author. She was an English teacher. She has a love of Shakespeare. She's also a musician. My father is a musician. So from a young age, I was immersed in music and storytelling. And I've just always liked telling stories. So that's just been a part of my life and the people I know. And then, after high school, I was really thinking about what I was going to do. And I had spent the summer busking on the docks of Old Town Alexandria, Virginia, and I thought I was going to be a musician. And one of the people I was playing music with actually was one of the composers on my film. Her name is Charlotte Little Hales, and she became a musician. But I was more just someone who was doing it for the love. It wasn't my path to be a musician professionally. Okay. And so I thought about some of the other things that I loved. And in high school, I had a really amazing opportunity to explore. I had a very just unique experience where I had so much opportunity in high school to figure out a lot of the things. Professionally, I was very lucky in that way. I went to school in Silver Spring, Maryland, and I experimented a lot with Flash animation when I was in high school. So I actually made my own video games. I made my own little animation, and I really loved it. It was something that I was able to do on my own. My father's also a computer programmer, and I'm not a computer programmer. I learned that very quickly, but I did have a love for using and the opportunity to use the computer as a tool to help tell stories very early. So when I was in middle school, I was programming my own video games using Flash, and I was telling stories there. And so it was kind of a natural progression into film school, where I discovered that, I was focusing on animation because I had a Flash background. And I just really fell in love with sound design and mixing, because it was such a strong part of the animation world. So, and it was also really fun for me because from a technical standpoint, I enjoy technology a lot. Because of my musical background, the music industry at that time, recording wise, was actually ahead of the film industry. So I was able to bring my knowledge of the equipment to the table as a sound recordist. And I was one of the first students in the NYU undergrad program that was using a computer to record audio for movies. And because of that, a lot of the other students sought me out, and I ended up being a natural collaborator as a sound person. But I never stopped wanting to tell my own stories as well. So when I had the opportunity to make a movie that I've wanted to make for a long time, I took it, and that's Esme, My Love.
Oh man, I love it. Absolutely love it. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to see if we can view the trailer. All right. If you just tuned in, you haven't tuned in too late, we're going to go into the movie trailer.
There once were two little girls. They both were a lot like you, and they were the best of friends. Sisters. The world is a strange place, Esme. So confusing without guidance. The answers, they're out here calling to us.
Are we gonna meet her soon?
Look, I just need you to be good, okay? You have to trust me. You have to trust your mom.
I told you I feel fine. I don't feel sick. Really.
Just wish we had more time. The past, it's never really gone. It can be changed. We have to save Emily. She's calling to us. What a horrible family we have. Our own personal genetic mutation. I'm doing all of this for you.
You need to tell me why we're here in this stupid forest!
Esme, I told you we came.
No, stop lying!
I love you and I would never do anything to hurt you, okay? Okay? He's here.
Nice. I tell you, that movie is so suspenseful that it just keeps you on the edge. So to come up with this, I mean, you had to be very creative. This is very good. And just the two characters. Pretty cool.
Thank you.
So what's next? Have you guys done the film festivals? Have you done all of that?
So we had a film festival run, but it was at a pretty unique time coming out of the pandemic, and even during the pandemic. So it was a very interesting run, but it was a great run. We won a lot of awards.
Wow, I can imagine.
Fletcher won Best Cinematography at 5 different film festivals. I got some Best Directors at a couple festivals, which was a lot of fun. And now we're really excited for June 2nd to be the digital release in North America. And, you know, despite a very successful festival run, it was there's still, I'm just so excited for more people to see the film, because we took it on tour at these festivals, but, you know, we're coming out of the pandemic, and also there, you know, festivals are very small and niche, and it's a tight knit community. Probably only a few hundred people have actually seen the film so far. And so I'm just chomping at the bit for the opportunity for more people to actually see the film.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, you're on our network now, so hopefully we'll get a whole bunch of people to you know, go see the movie on the 2nd when it hits a video on demand. I mean, tell
Yes,
people how
please watch the film.
yeah, tell people how they can see the film.
Yeah, so you can go to esmemylove.com, or you're going to be able to find it on Tubi or Amazon or Google Play or Apple. And if you want to see it, you know, with advertisement based, where you don't have to pay any money up front, that's Tubi. But because it's a psychological thriller, magical realism, slow burn, I do think the best experience would be something uninterrupted. So if you can rent it and not have the commercials, I think it's probably going to be a better viewing experience. And we made this with theater in mind. So when you watch the film, watch it on as big a screen as possible, at the highest resolution possible, and with the best sound system possible. If you don't have a good sound system, put on some headphones, because there are actually some Easter eggs in the film that you may not get if you're just listening it through your computer speakers. There are some things that you might not pick up on. Now, are they 100% necessary? No, but there's some pretty cool stuff that you might not necessarily pick up on if you don't have a good sound system or headphones on.
Ooh, some good nuggets. Ooh, I love it. I love it. So now, what's your next project? What are you working on next?
So I got a couple things coming down the pike right now. In this year's Tribeca Festival, I've got an audio piece called Aisha. It's a 7-minute piece, and it explores. It's told from the perspective of a young Palestinian girl, and I'm very excited about that. It's an audio storytelling piece, so that's in Tribeca this year, and then I'm working on several podcasts, narrative fiction podcasts. One is I'm producing. It's called The Arc, and it's going to be a sci-fi drama piece, 8-part, 1 hour. So 8 1 hours episode series. And then I'm going to do a sci-fi thriller one called Demo. And that's about whether basically an AI meditation app made for children falls in love with a girl with epilepsy. And we see what happens there. And just kind of what does that look like and what happens. And if you want to hear a little bit more about those pieces, we've released teasers for all of them on our podcast network. It's called the Silver Podcast Network. And so if you go to the internet and you type Silver Podcast Network, you'll be able to find 4 teasers for 4 different shows that I'm currently developing, whether directing or producing.
Very cool. So you're staying busy. I mean, so I think the movie is going to be a huge hit. So you're not going to have a lot of time for those podcasts. You're going to be too busy taking bows for this movie. So
yes, please.
we're going to enjoy the works that you bring into us. We really appreciate you being here on the show, and we want to stay connected. You know, if you ever need us, we're here. We're in Virginia, but you know how to reach us. You have my contact information. So if you ever need me, we're here for you.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. It's a real privilege to be on the show. I'm curious, is there anything in particular you're curious about in terms of the actors or about the show itself that you'd like me to go into with more depth?
Well, actually, I enjoy the movie. I'm a sci-fi buff. So, I mean, movies like yours, I know Tara produces great films. So I know you had to be good for them to select you. I was just telling someone here in the studio, the mother is just, to me, she's just like crackers. She's just wacko. And the poor little girl, and I feel so sorry for her throughout the whole movie, because I feel like a lot of it's in her head. So it's kind of like, is it true? Is that part real? You know, I mean, one part you didn't show, which was like the little angel flying around. And so, you know, the whole thing is suspenseful, and you don't want to give it away. You know, people have to see it to really enjoy it. And like you said, buy it where you don't get interrupted, because that's going to keep you on edge. You know, just get your popcorn, have your drinks ready, sit there and just watch it from the beginning to the end, so you can get the gist of everything that's going on.
Yeah, it's definitely a slow burn until it isn't, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So we do something different. You know, Terror Films, we're very excited that they're our distributor. Their normal fare is straight up horror. And we're a little bit different. This film is a little bit different than the typical Terror Films film. And while we border on horror, and there's definitely a lot of unease and it keeps you tense, mm-hmm. It's not a traditional horror film. It's more in line with something, I would say, like The Babadook, which borders on dealing with real human relationships. Right. And it's really about the mother-daughter relationship in this setting, in this very tense magical realism setting. So while I do think the horror community will absolutely appreciate this film, because the horror community is, they're really special people. And I think it's funny because, all these horrible things happening on screen and going on the movies, but the horror community is filled with the most loving people, because we're all kind of like punks and freaks and on the outside, and there's just so much love in that community, which is why I'm so excited for this film to be there, because this film is filled with a lot of love. It's filled with a lot of you know, a lot of heartbreak as well, but it's, you know, at its core, it's filled with a lot of love. And I'm really excited for the horror community to see it, because I think
Absolutely.
there are some things in there for them, but I think they'll identify as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's great, and you'll do really well with this movie. I really think so.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Absolutely. Okay, guys, our time's up. Cory, tell them goodbye.
See y'all, and
Have
thank
a
you so
good
much for the
one.
time. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.